What is up, gangling, and welcome back to this new video. And before we start the actual video, I just want to say thank you so much for 100 subscribers. This is so cool. There are a few select subscribers that I do want to thank them. I want to thank Dicky Swamp 2, Killprint 6125, David For Real, the Real Walter Black, the Killer in Purple, Leo Crazy Diamond Power 4, Johnny Joe Style, Dino Like Ship Host XD, Dat Lao, Dark Angel, How Dick Yoshikage Care, Aiden Kalma, Lasagna Muncher, Big Boss, animememes, Song Style Patter, Matt, 2 Icy, Trey, Sam Cowley, Among Us 2, and G-Fod. Even the people that I didn't thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. It's so cool to see a 3-digit number on my channel. It's actually really cool. Now, let us get into the topic of today's video. Which JoJo character is the freakiest and has the tightest ass? So here we have 5 tiers. We have the virgin tier, which that doesn't necessarily mean they are a virgin. That means that it just means that they have the butthole tightness of a virgin. Then we have grippy, it's been kind of like, it's not the first time entering in, but like you can feel a grip on your peanuts. Then we have average tightness, which is just like the average tightness of a person, of like a grown adult. Then we have it loose. It's wet, it's hairy, like it's just like kind of unkempt because it's been used like an above average amount of times. And then we have whore. Okay, like virgin, this doesn't necessarily mean they are a whore. This just means that they have the butthole tightness of a whore, which means it's gaping, okay? It is ginormous. You can fit anything in there. So you might be asking, Spiegel, what do you know about butthole tightness? Well, literally all I have at home to do is make YouTube videos and Google it, okay? I am the butthole master, okay? I know what butthole tightness looks like. Now here we have our characters that are going to be put on this tier list. A few things you may realize is there's a few animals and there's a few children on this tier list. What's up with that? I don't care, okay? This is my video, but I'm gonna rank what I want. You might notice, where the Pout 6, 7, and 8 characters were. I gotta have to reveal to you guys that I'm kind of a fake fan because I haven't read 6, 7, or Pout 6, 7, or 8. I know. You guys can pelt me with rocks now, but it's because like I've been taking breaks in between reading each part to read like other stuff. So, with that all out of the way, let's get into this tier. First, we start with the very first Joe style. We have Jonathan Joe style. Jonathan does not give the vibe of a freak at all, okay? Jonathan is a gentleman, he's a nice boy, and he just does, I don't think he'd participate in activities like that, but you have to take in mind that he does have a wife. Now, I don't believe Arena is freaky like that either, so I don't think Elena is freaky like that either, so, and like taking into account Jonathan's physique, like he is built crazy, so that butthole is probably locked up tight between all those muscles, man. So he has the butthole size of a virgin. Now Will A. Zeppeli gives a vibe of a freak, okay? That mustache and like I don't know, what was his catchphrase? Like, hey baby. That gives like the vibe of a freak. But like, again, he does seem like he's very dedicated to the training of a mon. So maybe, that training wouldn't let him be as much of a freak. But like, his whole vibe gives like the vibe of a freak. So I'm just gonna put him in. I'm gonna put Will A. Zeppeli in average butthole tightness. Now for Robert E.O. Speedwagon, the GOAT, the best waifu and the best mommy of all of JoJo, okay? Now, honestly, I think Speedwagon is kind of a freak, okay? There's no denying that he is in love with Jonathan. This nigga dedicated a whole ass company to his bloodline because he found the spirit of one guy just so attractive, okay? He is in love with him, and there's no denying that, okay? And keep in mind, he had those two goon buddies, okay? He had those two goon buddies when he first jumped to Jonathan. And obviously, like, goon. So, obviously, you know, that means that they goon together, okay? And, you know, the idea comes up in my head that maybe Speedwagon would be digging in his butt, thinking about Jonathan, okay? Thinking like, ooh, Jonathan, just like that. But also keep in mind that their physiques are massive, okay? So they probably have big ass hands too, and they have to fit the whole hand in their ass to dig in their butt, okay? So that is my reasoning why I think, you know, because everybody loves Speedwagon, I'm not gonna put him in whore, I'm not gonna put him in loose, I'm gonna put him in average because we just love him that much. Elena Pendleton is next. I'm just learning her surname right now. But like I said when ranking Jonathan, I don't think she's a freak, okay? I don't think she's a freak at all. But again, like with Speedwagon, like with Jonathan, keep in mind the physiques of Part 1, okay? They are built massive. So obviously Jonathan's dick has to be ginormous, okay? And keep in mind that at the end of Phantom Blood, Elena was pregnant, okay? So obviously they fucked a few times. So that means Elena would kind of have a big butthole because Jonathan has rammed it, okay? It's confirmed. So I'm gonna put Elena in. We're gonna go Glippy because, you know, Jonathan is a gentleman and he wouldn't want to go so hard on her. So, like, he'd be gentle with it. Okay, so next we have Poco. Poco's kind of like a timid boy. He's kind of like a shy boy. I don't think he'd be, like, gooning a whole lot and, like, touching himself. He doesn't seem like the type to do that. So, you know, pretty easy. And he's a child too, so. Virgin. He's a virgin. George Joestar the First, the real first JoJo. I feel like he wouldn't like get with any other woman after his wife died. Okay, he doesn't seem like the type to be unfaithful or like unloyal even after death. And like being like in a very rich, high class, neat family, I don't think his wife would like dig in his butt or like pleasure his butt or anything like that. So while like I think he obviously like he's an adult, so maybe he's had some encounters. So I'm just gonna go Glippy. Next we have the GOAT himself, Dio Brando. Dio is like a very interesting case because take into account his past and like his present, okay? His past, he had a very cruel past. He's been like born in a very poor situation, very poor person. So like in a very bad area. So you think like he's been molested. Like probably nobody's ever thought of this, but like he's probably been molested or like touched inappropriately. But like as like the vampire and as like the vampire ruler he is in Part 3, maybe he's got his freak on with like some of the stand users that he like recruits, or some of like the women he uses to like power himself up. But like again, Dio doesn't seem like the type to be like messing around with gooning and digging in his butt. he seems like a very determined individual. He wants what he wants, and he's going to get it. So in terms of like what tier I put him in, I'd probably put him in Glippy. Yeah, Glippy seems right, because he's definitely not a virgin. He's probably being molested or something like that. But yeah, I think Glippy's okay. Wang Chang, Dio's first like like servant. I don't think Dio would have got his freak on with Wang Chang. I think, cause like look at him, he's kind of like an old Chinese sagging man. So like I don't think he's really got like his freak on with him. He was like, I feel like he was like a good servant, but I don't know. And again, he's an old man, so he's probably had like a few encounters before. So I don't know. And like again, old man, so like maybe it's sagging. So I'm gonna go average size for Wang Chan. Dario Brando, okay, Dario Brando is a freak. Okay, just look at this facial expression, this sagging, evil old man. You think he hasn't like done, like you don't think while Dio's out there getting his ass beat in the fields, you think Dario isn't at home just gooning on his deathbed? I think he is. This is not the face of an innocent person, okay? Plus he is an old man, meaning that thing is sagging and he can't even. It is hairy, okay? It is loose and hairy. He's going to be the very first person to go into the whore tier. He is a whore. Our last part 1 character that I've chosen Jack the Ripper. I think Jack the Ripper, he basically just goes around killing like women. So he's probably like a bit freaky, but I don't think like he's used them to like dig in his butt or anything like that. Like maybe just like using the dead bodies, like fucking the dead bodies, or like using them to jack off, but I don't think he put them in his butt. So, and plus like he's a very like he's probably like a murderer. He probably want to like, he'd probably be very strong, and you know, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna put him in Glippy. Yeah, Glippy seems okay. Now we move on to part 2, one of my favorite parts of JoJo, battle tendencies. We only have a few characters here, so this will go quick. Joseph Joestar, one of the best JoJos and one of the best parts, okay? Joseph Joestar was a freak. He's a freaky little man. You saw how he's looking at his own mother. He's a freak. But like, on terms of butthole size, as much as the fandom will lead you to believe, I don't think Caesar and Joseph were like getting it on like that. Maybe a little bit, but like, you know, they weren't like full on lovers. Like they wouldn't be going hard on it. But like Joseph is a gooner, okay? Joseph is a bit of a gooner. I feel like he'd goon like his spare time. So, but like, would he be digging in his butt? That's the thing. Would he dig in his butt? Would Joseph dig in his butt? Maybe. Okay, and he's a very like attractive man. And think of that build. Think of that massive build. They would still build massive in part 2. So he's probably gutted on with a lot of ladies. But like, would they be eating out his butt? I don't know. I feel like he's too prideful and boastful to be reduced to a level like that. So, Joseph, he's probably just gonna be put in Glippy. Caesar Zeppeli is kind of on the same level as Joseph, where he's really prideful. He's good looking. He's good with ladies. As like his first appearance, he was actually with a lady. So he's obviously good with ladies, but like, again, would he dig in his butt? Would he goon? All that stuff. I don't think Caesar would goon nearly as much as Joseph was. Like his father, he seems like his grandfather, he seems very focused on training of Hamon and like the legacy of the family, that he wouldn't he'd have like more pride in himself that he just wouldn't goon in general. So like maybe he'd be like frisky with ladies, but I don't think he'd sleep with them unless he has the intention of marrying them. So Caesar probably has the butthole of a virgin. Okay. Lisa seems like a very strong, independent lady that if like a guy was coming up to her just for sex, I wouldn't think Lisa would let that slide. Okay, she doesn't seem like the type of woman to just like allow that. So I feel like she'd be like very protective. But would she goon? Would she like finger her butt? I don't think so. She again seems very dedicated to like the training of her man, and plus she's kind of old. So like would she even like think of doing that? Like, I don't know. I think it's Guppy. Okay, I think it's Guppy. Schrodenheim, another one of those goats. Even though he's a Nazi, I don't care. He is a goat. Okay, Schrodenheim is a goat. Now, he is like a cyborg, but like, would the cyborg attributes be put into his butt? I don't think so. I don't think like, it seems like they're exclusively for the chest, and like maybe he had some prosthetics where it's like robot arms, robot legs, and like robot thighs where it's like very mechanical in his butt. But does he seem like a freak? Yeah, because like, you know, when Nazis were doing like concentration camps, he does seem like a freak. But being a robot and all, probably like I'd put Schrodenheim in Guppy too. Okay, Susie Q. No, I don't mean for this to sound rude, but Susie Q is a freak. Okay, you hear how she was talking about Joseph, and how when Joseph was threatening to beat her or something, or like calling her forgetful and calling her mean names, she was just accepting it with like a smile. She's probably getting turned on by that shit. Okay, Susie Q is a freak. She's definitely fingered herself to thinking of Joseph, but I'm not gonna put her in whore because that's kind of rude to call a woman a whore. So I'm gonna put her in loose. Okay. Now, out of all 4 Pillarmen, which Pillarman would be the freakiest? Okay, I feel like the least freaky would be Ramu. Okay, he seems like very dedicated to like a fair fight, and like he seems like a good man, but like he definitely engaged in the Pillarmen orgies. But like, would he? I feel like he wouldn't like be doing that much on his own time. I feel he still would, but you know, not as much, because he has respect for himself and like his opponents. Okay. So, and keep in mind, he literally is made of stone, so I'd put that in Guppy. There's also Santana. I almost forgot about Santana. Santana was just like born a few minutes ago. Okay, I don't think Santana would even know what gooning is, or digging in his butt is, or any of that flaky stuff is. So, and like he's made of a rock too, so he's definitely a virgin. Okay, he was like born a few minutes ago. give him some time. He just spawned in. Who is more freaky, Cows or AC/DC? They both wear like almost nothing, but I'm in the ballpark that AC/DC is more freaky. Okay, because AC/DC, he literally latched onto like Susie Q, so I feel like he's more freaky. Ultimate Cows, I know, like he was just driven by power, so obviously he felt like good with all this power, and like he'd obviously be a bit freakier. But I feel like AC/DC is the more freaky one. So gonna put AC, and they're still made out of rock, so you know they can't be too loose. I'm gonna put ACDC in average, and also cows in average. But keep cows. Cows can change the shape of his butthole because he can like change into different animals. But you know that all averages out to an average anyway. So now we get to part 3, Stardust Crusaders, and I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even like this part, but has some cool characters. So first we have Jotaro Kujo. Jotaro Kujo does not seem like the type to goon. Maybe he goon a little bit, like in private, but I feel like he thinks he's too cool and like nonchalant for gooning. So yeah, and nope, I don't think he'd be digging in his butt. I don't think Takyon would fuck him. I don't think Polnareff would fuck him. I don't think any of the sort would be going on, because they just all think they're too cool for that kind of stuff. So and again, he is a buff man. So I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put Jotaro in Glippy. Muhammad Abdul, he seems like a bit more chill than the rest of the other guys, but like the way he was describing Dio when he encountered it, that's like a little bit gay, but like Dio just has the looks that he just enchant anybody. I think that's what they describe him as. So I don't think Abdul's actually gay. I think Dio's just that hot looking. But Abdul like gooning and digging in his butt, I feel like he has too much respect for that. Yes, he does. I feel like he wouldn't lower himself to do those kind of things. So, and like he's a black male. I don't know what that has to do with it, but like he's a black male. I'm gonna put Abdul in Glippy as well. Kakyoin, he seems like one of those. He seems like a smart like kid, and like he seems like a very artsy kid. Like, you know, all those performative people who like pretend to like be really into arts. I feel like Kakyoin would actually like be into arts and be like very knowledgeable about that kind of stuff, which could lead him to getting girls. But I don't know, Kakyoin. I feel like Kakyoin would do that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Would he like goon and dig in his butt? I don't think so either. All the main cast of Part 3 is like too prideful to like be digging in their butts and gooning. So I'm gonna just put Kakyoin and Glippy too. Okay, forget what I just said. I feel like Polnareff would goon and like dig in his butt and all that stuff. Polnareff is probably my favorite out of the main 5 people in Stardust Crusaders. Fuck you, Iggy doesn't count. But yeah, Polnareff does seem like the type to goon, okay? He was trying to pick up a lot of women when they were going to save Holly, Jotaro's mother, when they were going to say he was flirting with a lot of women. But I feel like he would goon, but would he dig in his butt? Like, would he put in butt plugs? I don't know. I don't think he'd do that kind of stuff. Polnareff would go. I feel like everybody's just gonna go in Glippy. Okay, Polnareff would go in Glippy too. Iggy is a dog, but like keep in mind what dogs like do to each other. Like they lick each other's asses and stuff like asses. They keep in mind what dogs do to each other. They like lick each other's buttholes and stuff like that. So Iggy would probably be Glippy. Everybody in Part 3 is just gonna be good. Harley Kujo is up next, and Harley seems like a very innocent woman. Like, I don't think she'd be like masturbating all day, but like again, she was sick for 50 days. she was just lying on the ground for 50 days, and you get bored when you're lying down on the ground for 50 days. So maybe she was exploring her body a little bit, but you know, like I said, I feel like everybody in Part 3 is just gonna be grippy anyways. So yeah. Anne again is a child, but take into account that she did have a crush on Jotaro. She was probably touching herself to Jotaro, like to the thought of Jotaro, like, oh my god, Jotaro, just like that. So I don't think like that affects anything that much, because then again, she is still a child, so I don't think that would affect anything that much. So yeah, I think she's just gonna go into Glippy too, because everybody is going into Glippy. Enya the hag. Oh, bro, she's an old sagging woman like Dario. So I don't think she'd be like a freak like that either. I don't think she'd be a freak. She's too like focused on like, you know, gathering all the stand users and all that stuff. I don't think she'd have time for gooning and stuff like that. So, but like again, she is an old woman, so we're gonna have our first average of Part 3. Maybe not everybody's gonna be grippy. Then we have Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice is very dedicated to Dio, so maybe him and Dio like got it on at some point. Like I feel like Vanilla Ice loves Dio, but I don't think he gooned. He seems too maybe he like gooned to like the thought of Dio, like gooned Dio, but I don't think he'd do that like so much would it would affect his butthole. So I think Vanilla Ice would be another Glippy. Whole Horse is an interesting case. He's a very dynamic character, and I feel like whatever benefits him, he would probably just go with it. So would gooning benefit him? Maybe he'd be a bit scared of it at first, but then like once he does it for the first time and knows it feels good, he just goon like a lot. He goon a lot. I don't know though. I feel would he like dig in his butt, like put buff? Maybe. I mean, like again, he does have that cowboy aesthetic, and you know cowboys are automatically gay. Country music is automatically gay, so maybe. I feel like if he joked it, if he beat it once, he'd beat it like forever. Okay, he'd beat it a lot after that. So I'm gonna say average. He has an average butthole. Whole Horse has an average butthole. Whole Horse, like hole. So probably has a big hole. Oh, that is so funny. Daniel, the first Dalby brother, Dalby the gambler. Would he dig in his butt? Would he like goon? He does give off freak vibes, but not as much as the other Dalby. Okay, he does give off freak vibes, but I don't think he'd like participating in like beating his meat. I don't think he'd do that. But then again, he does seem like the type to like women a lot, and like, you know, he is a gambler, so maybe he like use money to flex with women, like, you know, sleep with women. Would he do that? Maybe. And he's a bit older too, so he's probably had like that experience. So I'm gonna go Glippy for Dalby the Gambler, because everybody in Part 3 is gonna be Glippy. So I've said this 3 times now. Mariah, I mean, she both seems like the type to like sell, to like you know, be like kind of frisky, but like be like a badass when she wants to. But like then again, somebody who likes Joseph, like old Joseph, not Joseph in his prime. Has to be a bit of a freak. Okay, she has to be gooning a bit. I don't know what do girls say? They call it like flicking the bean. I don't know, but I'm not a girl. I've never seen a girl in my life, so I don't know what to tell you. Was she digging her butt? Maybe. She's a Latina, so you know Latinas have big butts. So maybe she digging her butt. I'm just gonna go loose. Yeah, that seems right. Alessi, oh my god, that guy's a freak, man. he definitely goons. He definitely has like 50 terabytes of child porn on his laptop. That shit needs to be checked and investigated immediately. He definitely likes kids, okay? Unless he likes kids. I'm saying that. But yeah, he'd goon. He'd do all that kind of stuff. He's a whore. Yeah, I'm no denying it. He's a whore, man. Dalby I forgot. Tellens T Dalby. I forgot what like the Dalby was. I forgot. My bad. I feel like he'd goon more than his brother, honestly, because like he's obsessed with dolls and he's obsessed with video games. Because those are like, and like he can like read the minds of people. So I feel like he would goon a bit, and I feel like he would goon, but like would he dig in his butt? Maybe. Like he's a video game player. So like he probably does smell a bit, and like I don't know. I'm just gonna say average. He does seem like a freak more than Dalby the gambler. He seems like a freak. This fucking monkey, dude. This monkey is a freak too, and it is a monkey, so obviously dig and scratch all over its nasty hairy butt, bro. And it was thirsting over Anne, man. He's a freak, okay? That monkey's a fucking freak. Rubber Soul, like the ability of like transforming your body, that is like made for like freaky situations, okay? Just transform yourself into a girl and let bro hit. So I feel like that the transformation power just in of itself is just for freaky shenanigans, okay? That is for freaky shenanigans. But like, does he seem like the type to do that? I feel like yeah, cause he was trying to be very sneaky and stuff like that with JOJO, but obviously like JOJO wouldn't take it, and so I feel like he would do that kind of stuff. And like that like haircut is giving like gay vibes, so I feel like he would goon a bit. I feel like he would like let his bros hit. So average sized butthole. Jay Guile is another freak, but like, would he like? Jay Guile is another freak, but like, how would he goon with two right hands? It's that would feel kind of awkward, wouldn't it? Oh wait, and Enya would feel him gooning, cause she felt his pain. She might feel his pleasure. So when he's like riding on a dildo, Enya would feel it too. Like, wouldn't that be a bit weird? So I feel like Jay Guile wouldn't goon, and like it would just be awkward too. But again, he is a sagging man. He is a sagging old bald man. So you know it's probably just like getting like a bit looser. So I'm not gonna go virgin, but I'm gonna go grippy. Jay Guile is grippy. Yes, this guy's grippy. Steely Dan the fucking GOAT. Steely Dan is the best villain from Part 3. The best minor fight from Part 3. I'm just gonna say that I love Steely Dan. Steely Dan the GOAT. I haven't listened to the band, but you know, Steely Dan the GOAT. Steely Dan, he seems like a bit of a gooner, okay? He seems like a gooner. Because the things he was making JOJO go do and calling him like, good boy, that's a freak right there. He'd goon, yeah. I feel like he'd goon. He'd like put his... and his stand is literally called Lovers. So yeah, he'd goon a bit, but like I feel like he would like play with his butthole a bit. He seems like that type of freak, so I'm gonna go loose. Same with Midler. She was attracted to Jotaro, so like, but like, if you're attracted to Jotaro, you might as well just like. Midler seems like kind of a freak too, cause she did really have a thing for Jotaro. I think she like ended the fight because Jotaro said, "Oh, you could have had a chance with me if you weren't so evil," and then she just beat him up. So like, I feel like Midler would think of herself like a bit. Her butt too. I feel like she would do that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna put her in loose too. So Midler is loose. That's the end of all the Part 3 characters. So now we move into Part 4, one of the best parts of JoJo. Next on the list we have Josuke Higashi Kata. I feel like Josuke is on the same level of Guna. No, not like the same level, but like a similar level of Guna like Joseph is. I feel like he goon like a little bit less than Joseph, but he still would goon like a bit, like in this free time he would goon. It's been shown that girls do like him, so maybe he does get some play. Maybe he has had a sexual encounter before, but you know, I kind of doubt that in some way. I don't think. While I do think he's interested in girls, like the second they'd question his hair, I feel like he'd get angry. But yeah, he probably like jokes it in his free time, like when he's alone, and like yeah, I think he goons a lot, but I don't think he dig in his butt though, so he's probably just gonna go into Grippy. Maybe him and Okuyasu have like played with each other's butts a few times, but you know, I low-key doubt that. So, you know, I'm just gonna go in Grippy. Speaking of Okuyasu, he doesn't seem like, nah. I feel like he would goon. Okuyasu. You know, speaking of Okuyasu's next on the list, and Okuyasu would goon a lot, okay? You see how remember how jealous he was when Koichi got a girlfriend, so he'd probably goon a whole bunch, okay? I believe, yes, I full-heartedly believe that he play in his asshole, okay? I feel like he just beat it a lot, okay? It's not like he had many friends for the longest time, and just with like his family. So like, I feel like he would beat it a lot. So, and he would play in his asshole too, because he's just like retarded like that. So I'm gonna go average. Koichi, I don't think Koichi's a gooner at all. I don't think Koichi would beat it. But like, keep in mind that he is with Yukiko, and Yukiko, similar to Suzy Q, I do think Yukiko is a freak. So would he like, and she definitely like put toys in him. So there's that. But like, I feel would Koichi like I don't think he'd stand up to that kind of stuff. I don't think she'd tell her to stop because she probably enjoys it. But like, he's a small guy. It's probably like in between average and Grippy, but I have too many people in Grippy, so I'm just gonna put him average. Rohan Kishibe. So Rohan, he's an artist, and he goes like, reality is like the best way to learn from art. So you think he's like hired naked models and like caress their bodies to know how to draw them. You think like if he's like, I don't know, if he's putting porn in this comic, you think he'd like jerk his penis and go like, oh yes, this is how the penis feels, and this is what happens when you rub it, like shit like that, and like he dig in his body like, ooh, this is how you draw the butt. I feel like that's what he do, but I don't think he'd be drawing porn that often. Like, I think the comic is like 14, so I don't know. I don't think he'd do that kind of stuff. He'd draw that kind of stuff. Maybe not as often. as I think so. But then again, he is like an attractive guy, so maybe he's had like some encounters. So I don't know. Let's put him in average. He's also an average. Hayato seems like an innocent boy. I don't think he's too much of a pussy boy to goon. I don't think he'd do that kind of stuff. And plus, he's like 10, so he's gonna probably go in just. He's probably a virgin. Yeah, he's a virgin. Next up, we have Raimi, and like honestly, can ghosts even like touch themselves? Can ghosts feel themselves? I don't know. But like, I don't know, she doesn't seem like the type to goon. I don't know. This is low-key a stupid video idea. I don't know, let's just put it in Gurby. Sagechi, he seems a little touted, so maybe just like digging his butt, cause like, I don't know, cause so funny, I'm retarded. I don't think he'd like stroke his cock though. Just like digging in his butt, that's the more important thing about this tier list. So, and plus he's a fat fuck, so that adds like to it a bit. Probably average. Miki Taka is next. Loki Miki Taka supremacy. Miki Taka was so cool, but can Miki Taka goon? I mean, like, does he even know what gooning is? He's an alien. Does he even know what that kind of thing is? Okay, let's just say he does. So like, you can turn like his hand. Could he like theoretically turn his hand into a dildo and then fuck himself in the ass like that? If he did know what gooning was, then yeah. But I don't think he knows what gooning is. So, and he can change the shape of his asshole, right? Probably. Well, I don't know. That probably just evens out to an average, because like he can do anything with his asshole. So just put him in average. Yukiko is like a freak. Okay, I know she's a sex demon, and she forces Koichi into like to play with her toys and like try butt plugs on and stuff. She definitely seems like the type of girl to do that and be like really obsessive. Like, no, you have to put in the butt plug. Put in the butt plug. Yeah, she's probably like that. She'd probably goon to Koichi. Do you think they have good gooning sessions? Well, I don't. You think like they have good gooning sessions? I don't think Koichi would be particularly rough on her. To be honest, I don't even think Koichi's penis is even big enough to fit in there, but you know, Yukiko, she is probably a freak. She probably like goons to Koichi, and she probably owns a bunch of toys so loose. Toshikazu is next, and Toshikazu is a freak. I remember that one line where Rohan says that I remember that one line from Rohan where he says Toshikazu likes to fondle his balls in class, and he likes how nobody can recognize him. So like, obviously if he's fondling his balls, he's fondling his butthole, so he's definitely a freak. So he's going in loose. Yuya is another freak, because like he's that guy that was like in the hospital with all those girls taking care of him, and like he could smell that he like knows the smell of blood. So obviously he's kind of a freakster. I feel like he participate in those activities, and like he definitely goon a lot and like have sex a lot. Definitely seems like that type of guy. But I feel like he worries enough about like his appearance that he wouldn't be digging in his butt a whole lot, just gooning a lot. I feel like he wouldn't touch his butt. But like, you know, considering that he's friends with lots of girls, maybe the girls would be playing with his butt. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It definitely could. It's definitely something that could happen. So I'm just gonna put him in average. Tonio to Saudi is a good, innocent boy, and I'm gonna stand on that hill. He's definitely a good man. He wouldn't goon. He wouldn't dig in his butt. Maybe he has a wife, but I'm not sure of that. I feel like he's too dedicated to cooking to have time for a wife. So even I don't think he's like horny or anything like that. So I think Tonio honestly deserves a spot in Virgin. And that's a praise, okay? He's good, he's innocent, he's such a good man. He's just like an innocent good man. Now we have Aya Totsuji. I honestly forgot why I put her on this list. Other than one reason, she grabs Yukiko's boob that one time, and that is all I remember about her. Wait, she also helped I think she helped Yoshikage Kira disappear, but other than that, I don't remember anything about her. She was grabbing somebody's boob. That's kind of freaky. So I don't know. Fashion designer. Yeah, average size butthole. Tomoko seems like a very fuck you, stupid bag. Tomoko seems like a very loyal lady that even when Joseph fucking left her, just come and dump, she wouldn't be with anybody else, because it's clear that she loves Joseph a lot. So I don't think and even if a man did come up to approach her, she'd probably just curb stomp them. She doesn't seem like the type to get into any of those activities. But old Joseph was kind of ripped when he probably cracked Tomoko, so he's probably kind of big. He probably had a big dick, so just for Joseph's big dick, I'm gonna put her in Grippy. The GOAT Yoshikage Kira is next, and Yoshikage Kira, he is he's probably a sociopathic freak. Okay, he definitely goons a lot, and those hands, he probably uses those hands as to jerk himself off. That the hands of the motors, he probably does that. He probably puts them in his butt too and all that kind of stuff, and probably after each time he digs them into his butt, he probably just cleans them. Probably has a dedicated procedure to washing of hands after putting them in his butt and gooning with them. Yoshikage Kira is a big gooner. He definitely goons a lot, so I don't know, I get really freak vibes of him, just being a murderer of women exclusively. He's obviously a freak. I do think he'd goon quite a bit, but obviously he'd have a procedure to clean up all his seed and stuff like that. So I feel he would use hands to dig in his butt, because he's obsessed with hands, so he's probably pretty loose. Yoshikage Kira is probably a really big freak. His dad, I don't know why the fuck is he on this list. I'm clearly retarded. I don't know where I'd put Yoshikage Kira's dad. If he's supporting a murderer, a murder of a woman, then I don't know, he's probably a freak. He had a wife. I don't know if his wife supported it. Yeah. He's a saggy old man. It's probably weakened, so average. And for our last Part 4 character, Diamond is Unbreakable character, we have Akira. I did kind of like him when he was the villain. His red hot chili peppers. Fuck. So I low-key do kind of like him, in the red part. I low-key do kind of like him as a villain in the Red Hot Chili Peppers arc. He's cool. He does seem like kind of a freak, especially with like being a guitarist. He could probably reach some crazy angles with those long ass fingers of his, and like, you know, probably very moveable and posable. And plus, like, just like having the stand ability to like shock yourself when you like shock your day a little bit, so like, you know, get an extra burst of stimulation for a better cum shot. Like, wouldn't you do that if you had the ability? I know I would. So Akira, even just like he gives like the kind of vibe of a freak, like, you know, all musicians, they all just do drugs and fuck random women anyway. So, he's probably a freak. I'm gonna go, it's average or loose. I'm gonna go loose. Now we have Power 5, Golden Wind, low-key my favorite part of JoJo. It might be recency bias because I finished it a while ago, but it's low-key my favorite part right now. So Jono Giovanna, I don't think Jono would goon, okay? He seems like he'd hold himself higher in a higher regard above that kind of stuff, and he doesn't give the vibe of a freak at all either. I don't think he's a freak. Plus, being a mafia boss, you kind of have other things to do than gooning. So, he was kind of bullied, but, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean he was molested. But, I don't know. He gives virgin vibes, low-key. He gives Howard virgin vibes. Let me put it, I don't know, he gives virgin vibes, actually. Bruno Bussolati, he's cool. I like Bruno. He gives the vibe of a freak, right? Like, that whole licking thing that he had, like, early on. That's, like, it's kind of freaky. I don't know if he'd goon, though. He doesn't seem like the type to goon. He just seems like the type to, like, you know, make, like, freaky jokes as, like, how do you do, fellow kids, as thing. Like, you know, to relate to the youth. But I don't think he'd goon. I think he just, like, crack jokes, kind of. Even then, he doesn't seem like the jokey type, so... I don't know. Maybe the gang of Power 5 had, like, gangbanging sessions? I don't know, man. Glippy. Yeah, he's going Glippy. Next, we have Abaccio. I don't think Abaccio would, like, be that. He seems like a good Samaritan that just wants to protect people, especially, like, after his police backstory. He doesn't seem like the type to, like, goon or, like, sleep around. He seems like a loyal man. I don't think he'd, if there were orgies between Bruno's gang, I generally just don't think he'd participate. He just seems like a loyal man dedicated to, like, the prevailing of justice. So, yeah, I think he's a good man. I wouldn't say he's a virgin, because being a police officer, you know, obviously that's like a high-paying job, so maybe he had a wife? I don't know. Probably not. So, he doesn't exactly give virgin vibes, though. He seems like a badass, so... I think he's gonna go Glippy, too, because he doesn't give off virgin vibes, but then again, he doesn't seem like the type to fuck you. Mista seems like he seems like a gooner, but somebody who will respect her women too. Like, if a woman didn't want to be with him, I feel like, even though he's like normally really violent, I feel like he would, like, you know, be okay with that. But like, he does seem like a bit of a freak, especially when he's talking to Fugo about Trish. He does seem like a bit of a gooner, and I feel like he would joke it a little. In Bruno's gang's orgies, he probably would be, like, participating. Yeah, but he would beat it. Maybe he digging his butt? I don't know. He seems like a gooner, but, like, he would still, like, respect women. Like, I don't think he would, like, be rude to women, or, like, you know, pressure them for sex. He seems like a good person. So, where does he go? Because he seems like a gooner. I'm just gonna say average. Narancia seems like a freak. He'd probably goon a lot more than Mista, and he probably like participate in the gooning fests with Bruno and his gang. Yeah, he seems like a gooner. Yeah, I feel like he just gives like the vibe of a gooner. Damn, I thought I'd have more to say about Narancia because I kind of like him, but yeah, he seems like he'd beat it. I don't know what to say. It's not good. Narancia is up next. Narancia seems like a bit of a gooner. He gives off like shog vibes of people who would like spend their time, you know, making edits, and that's what, but like specifically Sigma edits. Like, I don't know, just like American Psycho and Homelander edits. He seems like he'd make that kind of stuff, and I think he would beat it. I think him and Mista would like beat it together. That seems like something they don't do. But yeah, he seems like a bit of a freak. Just saying, like, you know, he gives like the vibes of a freak. So then again, he's like kind of tiny. So where does that factor in for butthole size? It's grippy. Like, he looks like it would grip. Okay, I'm just saying. Fugo. I mean, like, if he did beat it, he'd probably like beat it really aggressively. Like, his meat would be in shambles if he was to beat it. But I don't think he would. I don't think he just doesn't give up the vibes. When Mista and Fugo, they were talking about Trish when they were initially the bodyguards for her, he didn't seem like he was all that interested, not gonna lie. But yeah, he doesn't give off the vibes of a freak, but he kind of gives off the vibes of a... Oh wait, he was molested by that teacher. I forgot about the teacher. Does that factor in for butthole size? He was molested by the teacher and he beat him up. That is probably grippy because I don't see him gooning. That often. So it's probably just grippy. Because he was molested, that means he can't be a virgin. Trish doesn't give off gooner vibes, not gonna lie. She just seems like, you know, like your average girl that's into like fashion and all that stuff. Maybe she touched herself to like hot men fashion magazines. I don't know. But she doesn't give like the vibes of a hardcore gooner like she do it a lot. Nah, she doesn't give the vibe of it. So I'm probably just gonna go grippy too. He just doesn't give the vibes of a gooner. Diavolo seems like a gooner. Cause like, remember that, you have to remember the scene that he was just locked in all day just on his computer. You think he doesn't put up like feet porn and just beat it to that? I feel like even though like he's the leader of a mafia boss and everything, I feel like he beats it a bit because like he's just locked in on a computer all day, like in a completely dark room, bro. Do you think he doesn't beat it? Of course he beats it. Probably has a few dildos too. There's like the general vibe of Diavolo. I feel like he would goon, but like again, he seems very focused on like his boss work. I don't know. He seems like a gooner though. And like by the way he dresses very slutty. So I feel like he would own a few dildos. Gonna put it loose. And just because Diavolo's in loose doesn't mean Doppio's in loose too, because when Diavolo changes into Doppio, his physique kind of changes, I think, so it wouldn't be he wouldn't have the exact same butthole. But again, Doppio, when the time he's out, he gets touched a lot. So do you think he like gets molested? I don't know if Diavolo would allow that, but I think it said that Diavolo only comes out when like they're about to figure out something about his personality or like his true identity, and is seeing his butthole or seeing like his penis are really something about their true identity, unless they get like impregnated, then that's it. Then they can check the DNA. Oh, if you like if they're like impregnated or the semen is in them, their DNA can be checked. That's true. And then that will mean that Diavola will come out of Doppio. So maybe Doppio doesn't seem as much as a goon. He just seems like a little silly-dilly. So he's probably just a tier above them, above Diavola. Chocolata and Secco. Okay, come on, dude. These are the in JoJo. These are the prime time freaks. Okay. This guy is a sadist masochist. I forgot which one. Chocolata is a sadist or masochist. I forgot which one. And Secco's just a freak. No normal sane person walks on all fours, is fed only sugar cubes, and is in a full body suit all the time. Okay, no normal human being is like that. So, you know, these two, they definitely have hard as fuck, raw as fuck orgies together. So they're both whores. And I mean that in like the actually offensive sense, because these guys have such disgusting sex. It's actually revolting. Okay, I know that for a fact. Popo, he's like a fat ass nigga. So would he really like? I feel like he would dig in his butt, but like, is there really a butt to dig in? Is there really a butthole to dig into? Because his butthole's probably locked up tight between all the fat, so can he even reach it? And like his arms are pretty stubby. I don't know. Yeah, but like in prison, when all you have to do is like eat, what else are you gonna do? Of course you're gonna beat it. And like in prison, come on, of course you're gonna beat it. Like when somebody drops a soap, you're taking that chance. Okay, so I'd say he's grumpy because I just consider like the fat. So probably how to get down there. Risotto, he doesn't give the vibes of a freak at all. He doesn't give the vibes of a virgin. He's like in between. That's all I have to say, okay? He's average. Average size butthole. Prosciutto and Pesci, I don't know, they seem like freaks. Pesci especially, but like only when he gains his confidence. I don't think they engage in like fucking, because even though Pesci's head is shaped like a penis, Prosciutto he speaks very like down about Pesci, so I don't think they'd engage in sex. But Pesci, he seems like a bit of a gooner, but Prosciutto, however you pronounce these Italian names, man, he doesn't seem like he'd beat it at all. So he doesn't give off virgin vibes, but I don't think he beats it. So whatever his fucking name goes in Glippy, and Pesci's goes into average. Glacio or whatever this, I don't pronounce. Video's nearly over, so I'm not bothering on learning how to pronounce his Italian names. He seems like a mega freak, okay? He seems like a really big freak. He's genuinely seems like crazy. I feel he'd probably do a whole bunch. So and like just like being in his standard, being like a whole body suit, that just adds to the freak meter. So he goes in loose. Hey y'all, I'm sorry that this video took so long. I was making an edited version of this video, but honestly that would have just taken longer. Also, I deleted that version of the video, so like don't even bother asking for it. I have read part 6. These are how I'd rank the characters. I'm gonna put explanations in a pinned comment. Wait, I can't pin comments. Few other people I want to thank. I want to thank Barbecue Lays with No Chips. I think that's his name. Will be on screen. I want to thank Shrek Onion 69. I couldn't find his username, but trust me, he's out there. I forgot his username, so Timothy. Yeah, Timothy. The next video would be on like part 6 or like part 7. Oh my god, 6-7. Also, the steelballrun trailer looks like fucking shit. Yeah, that's the end of the video. Sorry for taking so long. Bye.